Hello again, good friends. Welcome, new subscribers. I'm Brian from Apex Detail. Today we're going to continue with the interior restoration on the E46 BMW. In the first installment, we repaired the leather boot around the shifter and the surrounding bezel. Today, we're going to continue with repairing and replacing leather. The two front seats are going to get recovered, reskinned. The back seats we're going to repair. That's what we're going to work on today, and I will be able to show you what I use to clean them and prepare them, and the kit I use for repair. Let's jump right into it. Today we're working on restoring armrests, leather armrests, the flip down center portion of the backrest, the base, bolsters. This is the worst of it here. We're going to take care of that today. There's no rips. I will take care of repairing a rip and show you how to do that in a future video. Today we're just going to worry about filling in cracks and dyeing. Here we have some smaller cracks. The bolsters really aren't too bad. It just basically needs a good cleaning first. That is the most important part. Cleaning it first, and then when you get any type of moisture in these cracks, in order for the filler to be effective, we want this to dry completely. This is the kit we're going to be using today. This is one of many very good, effective kits. This is Magic Mender. I'll put a link down below. I'll show you what the kit contains and what I use to clean the leather in preparation for the repair. First things first, we'll clean the surface, the leather, with the Sonax Premium Class leather cleaner. You simply apply it to the leather, spread it out a little bit, let it set for a few minutes, agitate with a brush, wipe off with a damp cloth, and dry. We'll do this little area first, spread out the product, again, let it sit for about 30 seconds or so, and then come in with your brush and agitate. I like to put some on the brush as well. And here we can see the outline of the area we were working on, and we just continue this all the way across the seat. I'm going to pause for a minute here as I get down closer towards the seams. I find some caked in dirt in between the cracks and the seams and the stitching. So what I do is I use forced air to get in there and remove it completely. Use your fingers, spread the seams apart so you can get in there better. Another thing you want to do before properly cleaning it is run your hand along the surface. A gloved hand, especially with the nitrile gloves, you really pick up the imperfections on the seat itself. If you come across any high spots, anything sticking up from the leather, if it's frayed, you can actually even use a beard trimmer. What I do on an area this bad is I'll just grab some 800 grit sandpaper and I'll lightly go over the area until it's smooth. It's a lot better already. Again, anything, any high spots or any frayed areas. When you're satisfied there, continue on cleaning. When it comes to cleaning these areas with deep cracks, make sure you get in the valleys properly. You want the best bond between the filler and the seat itself. That's where you get the best result and the best durability. As we look at the material inside the cracks, you can see how dark it is. The leather itself is now damp, and even if you have to wait 24 hours, do it, because clean, dry, that's going to be the best bond between the filler and the material itself. We're now ready for repair. It's clean, it's dried. We'll get into the kit itself. It's a Magic Mender leather repair kit, also effective repairing vinyl as well. You have the instructions, you have the color flex, you have the repair compound, you have the putty knife to spread the compound evenly around the leather and whatever repair you're trying to make. You have a sponge for texture, and applying another way to apply the color flex. You have two 800 grit sandpaper sheets. You have repair mesh. This is for tears in the leather. I'll show you how to do that. You have the cleaning wipes itself, and you have a swab. When it comes to applying the dye itself, I do it two ways, depending on the texture of the leather. This one's textured a bit, so I'll probably go with a sponge to help texture the repair. If not, I'll usually go with something like this. All right, we grab our repair compound and the putty knife, and we simply spread the compound out, fill in the gaps, fill in the cracks, and spread it out as even as you can. You'll notice I'll try to rake the filler both vertically, horizontally, across the crack itself, each one, and that'll be the best way to fill in each crack properly. I will give this midsection hump, the patch that goes up over the drive shaft, a generous amount of the filler. Don't worry, there is plenty left. There's plenty to go around. A little bit does go a long way. I wanted to make a point of featuring the Magic Mender first. Out of all the kits I've used, the customer service with this kit is outstanding. From the time you order it, it gets prepared quickly, it gets shipped out quickly, and it is at your doorstep at a reasonable amount of time. And what comes along with the customer service, if you have any questions, give them a call. You'll be in good hands. When you order the kit initially, sometimes you don't realize how quick you will go through the dye itself. There's plenty of filler, but depending on the size of the kit, sometimes you have to reorder some additional dye depending on what you're working on, and they'll get it there rather quickly. You'll see I'm spreading it out in two different directions depending on where the crack is. You want to go across the crack, you want to go with it, you want to try and fill it in the best way you can. Another tip, regularly wipe off your putty knife. Every once in a while you may get a piece of grit or dirt, maybe from the leather, a piece of the leather breaking off, or maybe a piece of dirt falls on it. If it gets to the edge where you're trying to spread out the filler properly and evenly, you may get a little bit of a trough or a valley in the filler itself. So if you wipe off the edge, it'll be nice and perfect and even. Additional tips with the filler itself, instead of going for a thick layer, extremely thick, trying to cover up the crack in one pass, put a nice thin layer, let it cure a little bit because it will sink gradually into the crack itself, and add another additional smaller layers, that way you will fill it up properly. When you're finished with the first layer, wipe off your tool. You want to keep it perfectly clean so there's no jagged edges on the edge of the putty knife here. So when you go to spread out the next layer, it's nice and smooth. Then you want to take a damp towel and gently remove the high spots or the material wherever you don't want it. Like right here in the corners. Alright guys, now because of the state of my recording device, which I'm trying to straighten out, I had to break this video into two separate videos, part 1 and 2. This is the end of part 1. Please hop over into part 2. We're going to start what I consider the most fun part of this, where we break out the die.